Here we go. First marathon training run. I think all the best adventures start on the ring road. It might not look like the most inspiring piece of road or trail in the world, but anytime you want to go on an adventure or you want to go a long way, you've got to start on the ring road. So I think it's only fitting that this is where my marathon journey starts. So I'm going to be documenting my training as we go along. Certainly try and post a video once a month. I'll see how it goes. But this is it, we're starting. I've managed to not make things easy for myself. Getting a ballot position in the London Marathon was a happy accident. I'm really quite delighted to have a place. But I'd already signed up for a springtime race. I've entered the Manchester Canalathon 50k that happens to be exactly 1 month before the London Marathon. So it's going to mean that my training is a little bit more extended because I want to train for the 50k distance, and I'll then have 4 weeks of, I guess, maintaining my fitness, both recovering after the 50k and also tapering up to the marathon. But you know what? If Eddie Izzard can run 27 marathons in 27 days, then I'm sure I can run a marathon and a bit, and then a marathon within 4 weeks. So certainly at this point, yeah, I'm feeling optimistic. I can do this. The reason for making these videos is twofold. One, it's to raise money for WaterAid. Far too much of humanity is without clean drinking water or sanitation. And if I can use my London Marathon place to raise some money to alleviate some of the burden of poverty, then it'll have made the world a slightly better place. So if you enjoy the videos, buy me a beer or a coffee and donate the money on my fundraising page, and hopefully we can raise enough money to buy a clean water supply for a community somewhere that currently doesn't have one. The other reason is to show people this kind of, how do you put it, optimistic endeavour. Difficult, it's achievable. I'm going to be running the London Marathon in my 50th year. I have a desk job. I spend far too much of my life sat down. When I'm not at a desk, I have a lot of travel commitments for work, which leads me to travel away from home and eat unhealthy food, and again spend far too much time sat down. So if you look at this and think, well, you know, if that slightly overweight chap who sits at a desk and is 50 years old can do this, then you can probably do this too. All it takes is just wanting to do it, and a bit of commitment, and just getting out there and trying to run a bit further than you did last time. I'm never going to trouble the podium. I'm never going to be a fast runner. Let's face it, I'm never going to be in the top third of finishers. But if I put my back into it, I might just be able to beat that person who I was last week. So that's all I'm doing. Trying to be a slightly better runner than that person who I was last week. And if just one person thinks that they might be able to do a run or a park run, or just run to the end of the street, then again, we've made the world a slightly better place. And that's got to be a good thing. There we go. That's the first training run of the session. 9 miles. In fact, I mapped out a 9-mile course, and with about a mile to go, Garmin told me I'd already done 9 miles. So I decided to cut it short a little bit, just not to overdo it. Obviously it's well into autumn now, so we need to think about being visible. So I got my trusty head torch, which is much about me being able to see where I'm going on the poorly lit footpaths and roads, and also about making sure that I'm visible to cyclists. I've always also got this, I'll show you here. It's a flashing belt which I got off Amazon. So I wear that at the back, sort of a bit like a red light on a bike, again just so that anyone behind me can see me in places that aren't particularly well lit. Actually, that run felt really quite good. Yeah, I was surprised. Quite easy, got it done. Obviously I'm going to have to run 3 times, slightly more than 3 times that for the Canalathon. But yeah, for a first run, I was really quite pleased. So I'm going to book that, cross it off on the training plan, and just keep going, and then do the next one. I'll keep going like that, and that'll get me to the beginning of the race. So here's the next practice run.